Romania with a big surprise, while Lukaku provided very few surprises, unfortunately for him. Hey, I'm Adrian and welcome to Euro Daily here on Rabona TV. We go through everything that happened each day that there are matches in Euro 2024. Easy, right? We also give shoutouts to whoever is leading the Euro 2024 standings in FC Quiz. And there's a new king at the top and his name is Atletico Mineiro. Well, he's unseated Jack Rimsey, but we have a few others that are reaching close as well. So keep at it, guys. And if you think you can beat Atletico Mineiro, then go ahead and use the link in the description to join the Rabona TV club on FC Quiz. Take a few quizzes. It's a great app and see how you do. By the way, it's free. All right, now let's get to Group E. Romania and Ukraine, and this was a masterclass of pressing and counter-attacking from Romania in the first half. Iordănescu's side were fantastic in qualifying as they were defensively strong, didn't score in bunches, but were incredibly clean in their results. The first half from Romania was a great example of what they're all about, miserly defending. And they picked their moments to surge forward incredibly well. They know exactly where the outball is and where the runners off of the outball will be. As for Ukraine, they looked comfortable in possession, adding some danger from wide areas through Misha Mudryk and Sagenkov, while Dovbyk was very direct and trying to make runs in behind, but not always getting the service that he needed. Romania was playing with a fairly high line, so if the service was right for Dovbyk, he would have had more opportunities in behind, but they were few and far between, and when he did make those runs, guys like Dragusin defended against him very well. Dragusin was fantastic. So that's how this one played out, really. Ukraine were often forced to attack from the flanks, and Romania would bring 8 or 9 of their outfield players back to defend in 2 blocks, making it hard to penetrate their defense, no room to strike from outside of the box, and all attacks within the box were snuffed out. They'd hit Ukraine on the counter, and they would shoot on sight. They were shooting from everywhere. It was great to see. All of them were trying to score the goal of the tournament, absolutely belting the ball whenever they could. And the pressing... wow, Romania's first goal came from their cohesive press, forcing Ukraine to pass back to Lunin and pressing Lunin into a mistake as he passed it straight to Denis Mann, who put it on a plate for Nicolae Stanciu to strike what was, for me, the goal of the tournament thus far. Smashed it into the top corner. The ball kissed the crossbar on the way. Oh, how I love a goal that touches the post or the crossbar on the way in. I mean, look at Ratu's reaction to this goal. That was all of us, I think. And Stanciu nearly scored from a corner later in the half, curling it towards the back corner, and the ball catapulted off the crossbar. Like I said, they all wanted to score the goal of the tournament, man. That ruthlessness continued in the second half as a Romanian counter seemingly was cut out by Ukraine's defense, but the loose touch rolled toward Razvan Marin, and he hit the ball low and hard toward the corner and beat Lunin. Perhaps Lunin's sight was a little bit blocked, but given how it went under his arm still like this, it looked pretty poor from Lunin. He would have wanted that one back, I'm sure, just as he would have wanted that first goal back as well, given his mistake in the build-up. Trubin in goal for the next match? Kind of looks like it. 4 minutes later, and the hurting continued with Denis Mann playing setup man once again. His squared ball to Denis Draguš was turned into the net for 3-0 in quick succession. Romania absolutely running riot over this Ukrainian side that was just beaten in every way. Every Romanian's willingness to run up and down the pitch, how fiercely physical they were in the tackle, celebrating every block and tackle, ruthless in their finishing. I mean, Ukraine looked intimidated at times, like they just wanted the match to end. Ukraine began to settle in the match after going 3-0 down. They kept plugging away. Mudryk had chances and wasted all of them. Yaremchuk lobbed one off of the bar, but it just wasn't going to happen for them, was it? Credit to Romania, massive performance, and this tweet from my man Manuel Veth really illustrates just how much of a cohesive unit they are. As he wrote, the first real upset of the Euros is near. Just to put this Romania versus Ukraine result into perspective, the front 3 of Mudryk, Sagenkov, and Dovbyk have a combined transfer market value of 100 million euros more than Romania's entire squad put together. That's wild, isn't it? Huge congrats to Romania for this performance and getting their first win since they beat England 3-2 in Euro 2000. And shout out to their fans for being so loud all match long, as well as their second ever win at a Euros. Belgium. Now we get to take a look at Tedesco's team as they took on Slovakia. And as I said in the preview, big fan of their attack and midfield. Lukaku, Doku, Trossard, De Bruyne with Mangala and Onana behind them. Nice. Back line though. The back line, I do not like it at all. Castagna, the chestnut man, Timmy Chestnuts, Faze, De Bast, and Carrasco at left back? I don't like it. And wouldn't you know it, despite Belgium looking dangerous and coming close on a couple of occasions, Slovakia scored on their first foray forward after just 7 minutes. It was Doku who misplaced a pass at the back, which led to a strike at goal that was saved by Casteels, but he couldn't save the rebound that Schranz slipped underneath him. Does that go in with Courtois on goal? Maybe, maybe not. By the way Schranz set up his teammate with that deft little first-time flick, stunning, joga bonito stuff there. Belgium, of course, improved throughout the first half, focusing much of their dangerous attacks down Doku's right flank, but he was oftentimes taken care of well by the Slovakian defenders, lunging in to block his crosses or simply shepherding him into less dangerous areas, kind of running into cul-de-sacs at times. All the while, it felt like the most dangerous chances in the match were still going Slovakia's way, as that creaky Belgian back line left them with room. A great counter down Slovakia's left saw Lucas Haraslin left completely open on the far side of the box, and his perfectly executed volley forced Casteels into a good save. A save you'd expect a professional goalkeeper to make, but still a good save, right? Belgium went in the other direction, and Lukaku squandered a golden chance from this position. The way it played out, it all looked a bit youth football, if I can say that. The reason why I say that is because he didn't have the confidence to take a touch earlier, likely out of fear of miscontrolling it, so he lets the ball bounce and just waits for it as he holds off the defender, waits for it to come down instead of taking initiative and controlling or striking at goal, instead waiting and taking a heavy touch wide. And even earlier in the match, there was a moment where he had a chance on the doorstep and he smashed it right at Dubravka, and a couple of other moments when he touched it way wide. I mean, this tweet from BR Football kind of said it all from the first half. Lukaku miss, Slovakia goal. 2 sitters for him in the first half, where he just looked rattled once again, picking up from where he left off in the last major tournament, the 2022 World Cup. You remember it, that second half performance versus Croatia. Could he turn it around in the second half against Slovakia? Well, he would score from about a yard out. A short corner from Belgium, Onana headed it across goal from the back post, and Lukaku tucked it in from 1 yard out. But it was offside. Lukaku was offside by about half a body length or so, wasn't reading the play and stepping back in time, I guess. Unfortunate in a way for him. When it rains, it pours, I guess. Minutes later, he had a chance on the volley at the back post and he hit side netting. It just wasn't funny anymore at that point. Belgium were knocking on the door throughout that second half, with Bakayoko brought on in place of Mangala. Bakayoko moved to the right, Doku moved to his favored left, De Bruyne and Trossard dropped deeper in the middle, and it was Bakayoko who had his effort cleared off of the line after some superb defending by David Hanchko. And from there, it was kind of Operation Shithousery from Slovakia. They were down and breaking up the play at any moment they could, giving little touches on the ankles of Belgian players to put them off, wasting time when they could, and they were doing well to frustrate the Belgians, and dropping into a deep 4-5-1 when out of possession to make it even more difficult for them. And while it nearly worked, Lois Openda, the sub, created a goal for Belgium, beating his man wide, then cutting it back to Lukaku, who finished very cleanly across Dubravka to make it 1-1 for a moment, because once again, it was called back. Openda's hand came into contact with the ball when he was jostling with the defender on the flank. Honestly, for me, it's one of those letter of the law, but you hate to see it calls, right? Yes, it's a handball, but you sometimes wish there was a little more room for interpretation there from the referee. How much did that handball really affect the play, if at all? The Slovakians had no idea why it was being reviewed, but they'll take it all day, right? Of course they will. I would. So a bit of an unlucky day for Belgium in some respects, a bit of a sloppy day for them, especially in Lukaku's part for his finishing and lack of awareness, and a bit unlucky for Openda. But the outcome is a massive win for Slovakia, who fought hard and played well. Hanchko fantastic, Duda fantastic. Romania at the top of the table, while Slovakia are right behind them. Next fixtures, Slovakia takes on Ukraine, while Belgium will have a very tricky task against Romania. And we're back to unfinished business from Group D. While the Netherlands played against Poland yesterday, Austria and France battled it out today, and it was a great match. Superbly impressive stuff from Austria, who were really troubling that French back line. France, of course, they're always going to be a favorite in this tournament. But before we get to all that, though, isn't it nice to see N'Golo Kante again? playing pretty incredibly out there. Maybe not at his 2018 best or anything like that, but still very, very good in the midfield. But I thought Adrien Rabiot was actually the most important midfielder out there for France at times. He would drive forward with the ball, great at progressing the ball on the dribble, while also looking tidy when getting back to help out defensively and stop counterattacks before they started. But I think in the end, Kanté was the man. Overall, Austria did well to stop France's attacks, as Patrick Pence in goal only had to make one save against France's attackers in that first half, who, by the way, were Mbappé, Thuram, and Dembélé. Thuram and Mbappé especially were swapping positions. One would be central, then the other wide, etc. But to Austria's credit, they looked just as strong as they have in the last couple of years or so, with their big results and impressive qualifying campaign. The way they pass the ball out from the back, they look like a top club side. Those automations from Rangnick, the one-touch passing to get themselves out of trouble, the third man runs off of the ball, and how they moved it around the edge of the French box to unlock their defense. They looked sharp out there, although at times I wish they would just take a leaf out of the Romanian book and wallop one on goal. But Baumgartner found himself in clear with just Maignan to beat, and he tried to scoop it over the onrushing keeper. Instead, it hit off Maignan and went just wide. Referee got it completely wrong and gave a goal kick, but man, the composure and the touch from Sabitzer to set up Baumgartner there was incredibly impressive. And with all of that in mind, it was a shame not just to see Austria concede moments later, but how they conceded, with Maximilian Wuber getting his wires crossed and heading into his own goal. An unforced error, really. That's an easy clear. But maybe he was afraid of heading it into the back of his teammate and how that could lead to a chance for Griezmann, who was right beside him. Not sure, but an unfortunate way to go 1-0 down considering how well they were doing against France. Austria came out flying in the second half and were looking far more brave when it came to committing numbers forward against the French. Despite that, Mbappe's pace allowed him a 1v1 situation with the Austrian keeper, and amazingly, Mbappé managed to put it on the wrong side of the post. I mean, most people would have bet their house on him finishing that off. But once Rangnick made 3 substitutions, such as bringing on Arnautovic, Austria again looked better and better against the French backline. The backline was standing strong, but Austria were coming at them again and again and again, getting multiple corner kicks in a row, but unable to find that killer chance. The game opened up in the second half as France too started having more opportunities from the wide areas, playing dangerous balls through the middle from Thuram, Theo, and Dembélé. And it went on like that for a while, with chances continuing in each direction in the second half as Wimmer nearly broke through for Austria, but a vintage moment from Kanté cut out that attack. Mbappé broke his nose going up for a header when he collided with the shoulder of Danso. Austria with tons of close calls, but they just couldn't find an equalizer. All the same, really impressive stuff from Austria. France looked very nervous at times, and rightfully so. This was a great performance from Austria, where all that separated these two sides was an own goal. Need more quality going forward from Austria, and they will be dangerous. Austria versus Poland coming up next, and France versus Netherlands, the two teams that are topping the group, as you can see. All right, ladies and fellas, another day done. A more entertaining day than yesterday, in my opinion. That Belgium match, and then the Austria-France match, not to mention Romania's incredible performance. Great day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Otherwise, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.